It is myself, T42. You know who I am, with the one and the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the CEO of Play Legit. It is KJ. Yeah, man. What's going on, dude?
Man, I'm just hyped up for E3, man. I just can't wait to see the announcements. Oh my goodness.
The announcements, the hype is real. The hype is real. So, what are you particularly like most looking forward to, man, about E3?
Me, I'm looking forward to. Now they have some strong rumors that they're actually going to put out a Battletoads at least announcement. You know, probably ever since we've had this website, I'm always jumping in saying, "Where's Battletoads gaming? Where the Battletoads?" Because it doesn't make sense to me. That is just easy money. Even if y'all just re-release the old games and put them out here on the system, that is just bona fide easy money. So that I think it's more the factor that it's why hasn't it been done yet, more than I've been waiting for it, if that makes sense.
No, no, that makes sense. There's a lot of games that I felt like that over the years, you know. So I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, man. There's a lot of hype. There's a oh, damn, I left the audio on, so there's a little loop going on there. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing if they're actually going to confirm the Fallout 4. I think that would be a pretty fantastic like thing to happen, because I think a lot of the fans have been wanting it. You know, Bethesda's been I don't know, they've made some really weird and interesting decisions, and I think a Fallout would be good, because I wasn't really too big on the whole Elder Scrolls Online. You know, they just didn't. You know, I just didn't feel like that was a game that needed to be online. So, what do you think, man?
Well, I am gonna play it because like I don't really have a PC right now that can handle a lot of big stuff. So when I play Elder Scrolls, it's obviously gonna be on the console, and I'm looking forward to just seeing if they could get it done. But most importantly, it feels right for a Fallout to come out now. It's been a long window where we haven't had anything, and it just the time is right for this announcement. If there's any year, 2015 is it.
That's some truth, man. I This is like a big year for like uh the developers to actually bring a lot out, or like really kind of showcase something important, because we've just had a lot of letdowns. It feels like over the past year and a half, there hasn't been anything that's just gone like, oh, like, oh my god. They've pushed back the Tom Clancy game, which I'm actually okay with that. You know, people want to get pissed like, oh no, there's another game that's getting delayed. I was like, I don't know. I think a game getting delayed is better than a game coming out and then everybody getting disappointed because of how much it sucks because they didn't delay it. You know. People get mad, KJ. You know how it is. People get mad because it's like a game didn't come out on time, and then now we're angry because we have to wait, or a game came out too early and it wasn't finished, and now we can't play it because it's broke. It's just like, damn. Like nobody can be happy, but when the whole GTA 5 coming to the PC thing was going, like it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And I was like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna wait and see. And for me, I had no problems. Some people had problems with it when it came out, like technical issues, but I had none, and I was well worth it for me. So
It's well worth the wait. It's obviously it's the strongest version, most powerful. The whole mod community. I think why they wait, I knew there was never a doubt in my mind that it was coming because they always do this. Last time they did this, time before that they did this. That's just what they do. I think they try to get all the maximum money they can, and then they're like, all right, we'll let them mod now. We'll let them do their thing. We'll let them modify, do this and that, because we've already made like a massive sum from the console basis. and now it's time to get that PC money. You know what I'm saying? But if there's some pirating going on, let's say, because PC folks, it's a little easier to do that. So I think that's why they wait. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they do. Why they always is like, we're gonna wait till the last straw to put it out.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of really glad about it. I'm also looking forward to this year with E3. I want to see more from Blizzard. I think their new first person shooter, um, is going to make a better appearance, and I'd like to see them showcase that a little bit more because I think a new IP from Blizzard um, could be very interesting. A lot of people were complaining that it looks like a Team Fortress 2 clone, but everything that I've been, everything I've been seeing so far from it looks like it's actually going to be a lot of fun.
Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Yep.
So I'm pretty stoked for that one.
I've liked in that game. There's a lot of games that are kind of Team Fortress oriented and stuff, and there's different class variants. The thing that's constant is a lot of characters share similarities, whereas in Overwatch, I'm noticing a lot of characters, they all have their own special thing about them, and they have multiple abilities too. It's not just one little special thing they have. There's like a whole list of unique stuff that that particular character has. Then that dynamic alone is really going to add some replayability to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty stoked about that one. There's some other E3 stuff going on. One of the big ones I think people were kind of interested about, and I wish there was actually more hype about it because I think it deserves it. Is Nintendo bringing back the Nintendo Challenge, the Nintendo World Challenge or whatever it is. Because some of those carts, those old Super Nintendo and old like original Nintendo cartridges that were from like those challenges are super hard to find, and like original copies, they're worth a lot of money, and that's something from their history, and the fact that they're bringing it back at E3 is I think pretty cool, and I'd like to see what they do with that, especially considering Smash Brothers. Like you throw the that Nintendo's kind of doing its own esports thing, or they could at least turn it into that. You got the Smash Brothers stuff, you got Mario Kart stuff that they could easily bring out.
Probably do Splatoon with it also.
Splatoon. Oh my God, Splatoon! I cannot wait to get my hands on Splatoon. I that's again, another big company, a family name in the console gaming world, or not just console gaming world, but the gaming world in general. Nintendo bringing out a brand new IP. That's a big deal. Two classic companies, Blizzard and Nintendo, bringing out brand new IPs this year for the first time. And I think it's going to be pretty cool because I think that's what the gaming world needs is a big company coming out with something strong and new.
Absolutely. This multiplayer scene has become diluted. A lot of it is future based, mech suits and all types. I mean, I'm not here to talk down on it. It's cool, but at the same time, if everybody's doing it, really hurts what everyone's trying to do. So it's a breath of fresh air to see a game like Overwatch, to see a game like Splatoon, and that could possibly change the game, shake things up, so that all these mech suit future games can just take notes and say, hey, let's step back, let's try to do something a little bit more innovative, because obviously Nintendo and Blizzard, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, Blizzard's got three heavy hitters, right? All three of them have been heavy hitters for years now with Warcraft, Starcraft, and Diablo. And the World of Warcraft has been out for over 10 years now, and it's still going. Maybe not as strong as it has been, but I mean, it's still, it's still a thing, and it's still it's reckoning lots of cash still. And then you got, of course, Diablo. This last one, Diablo 3, when it first dropped, had some issues at launch, but, and the whole auction house thing, but they've, fixed that. And as far as, like, a story and a game goes, It's still pretty solid. Now, multiplayer, a lot of people have problems with it for some reason or whatnot, like the battle arenas and stuff. So I've heard and read some things, but I've never really participated in that, so I can't really speak to it myself. But you know, they've always had heavy hitter games. StarCraft's coming out with Legacy of the Void, the third installment to the StarCraft 2. I think that's
That
coming
should
out
be
at
good,
the
man.
end of the year or something like that. I think it's at the end of this year, and I'm pretty excited about that. So, a lot of heavy hitters from these big companies. Of course, Nintendo. I don't even have to name a game from them. I mean, you should already know. um, so I don't know, man. And the fact that the Tom Clancy game's getting delayed, I think, is good. I think we should see something really big though this year from it.
Well, I think you think what you'll see big is the press that Rainbow Six is gonna get. I know you're not anticipating it like other people are. I know you were saying that, but I think it's still gonna. It should be good. We'll see. But I think you're probably gonna see a lot for that because that is coming out in October.
I will give Rainbow Six this. They're trying to do something different. And as far as like, because it's the team-based games, the team-based multiplayer games, I'm thinking of games like Left 4 Dead and some of these other ones where it's team-based stuff. Everybody kind of has a role almost in certain regards, and you're seeing more of that. What's the other one? Payday. Uh, everybody can have like kind of a different specialty on stuff, and I see that when I watch Rainbow Six. When you have these two teams going against each other, everybody kind of has something that they're a little bit better at. Like it's a and there's it's like this working together to accomplish this task and this goal and the tools that they have to do it. The way that they're doing, because you had like the cops versus robbers thing, but it was reversed, so it was like robbers versus cops with Payday 2. You had the zombie thing with Left 4 Dead, and now you're doing a kind of a new take on SWAT, but it's more action packed. It's more brutal in your face, compared to like the old Rainbow Sixes, which were much more of like a SWAT simulator, if you will. Um, because you had to be really tactical. You get shot, you're down. That's it. Um, as where these new ones are definitely more of like Call of Duty meets Call of Duty
That's
meets Rainbow Six.
that's a
So
lot of. Oh, I think a lot of these shooter games are like that. I'm more of like what you said is tactical. That's why, like the first Gears game, I really like because there's no respawns. I mean, when you die, that's it. And I like that. I think you think more about that life that you're given. You're thinking more. It forces you to work your brain because Call of Duty, you get popped. I'm back. Okay, and then you run out, pop. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, dude, exactly. And it's funny that you mentioned the mech stuff. It's this there is a saturation because for a while we had nothing but World War II games, right? And your bigger heavy hitters were really good, and then everybody tried to duplicate that. I'm thinking of back when like Call of Duty and Medal of Honor were first out. It was a whole new thing, and Call of Duty got praises for how they told their story and the way it was done. And then from there, it just kind of gets franchised. Um, and Battlefield's kind of doing the same thing now, and it's kind of I feel like when I play one and I get the new one, I feel like it's just the same thing with a new name slapped on it and a couple of different features. I don't know. So it's nice to see that there's definitely some new stuff coming out.
it's also you gotta think of it like this too. A lot of people don't think of it like this, and maybe you shouldn't. But I'm just gonna throw it at you. They come out. People was for years telling them stop making World War II games. Talking about Activision Call of Duty. Stop making Vietnam games. Advance the story. Let's go to the future. Okay, so they did that, and they've been to modern day, not too long, but they've been to modern day, and then on to the future. Now I'm hearing, stop doing the future. Go back to World War II. Go back to Vietnam. Well, okay, if I'm sitting here in my corporate suit and I'm making the decisions, y'all want us to go to the future. Now you want us to go back. Well, damn, what y'all want? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think yeah, it's circular, right? Like it's cyclical almost in the way that things work because I think they're not they're going to they're it's a modern warfare thing, right? So you had your Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, then you had your Modern Warfare 2, then your Modern Warfare 3, and your Black Opses, right? And a lot of those focus more on Modern Warfare, and then they're like drifting into like 10, 15, 20 years from now future fighting, right? But none of them have like gone really into that sci-fi realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that's really other than the idea of a hover tank. Hey, thanks, big dog. Welcome to the chat. Echo, what's going on, buddy? Welcome, guys. Yo, you can barely hear KJ. KJ, is there any way, sir, you can turn your microphone up?
No,
No,
I just did.
no, damn it.
Can you hear me? Do I sound nice and sweet and all that?
I can turn myself down to make him a little louder. Here we go. Let me turn me down. That way he sounds louder. Do that. Yeah.
Are we doing?
Okay. Yeah, so the with Battlefield 4, they implemented some of the hover tank stuff that you got in Battlefield 2142, right? And I thought that was really cool. That was like a little homage, if you will, to the 2142 because a lot of people liked that. But the thing that was nice about 2142 was it's the only one of like the Call of Duty slash Battlefield games that actually was the future. You
Right.
know, they had the Titans, the big hover ships up in the sky that you had to catapult yourself up onto and try and capture. You had the hover tanks and the future the deep into the future weapons. But I don't for some reason that game just didn't catch on at the time frame that it was in. You know, for some silly old reason, and it just kind of they're trying to do futuristic stuff now, but it's like they're trying to keep it as close to modern as possible.
Right.
And I think I've been seeing myself. There's been a World War I game that's come out. I've seen some people trying to some companies I think are working on some like World War I, II, like flight combat stuff. Um, but I think it's like it's cyclical though. So like people kind of just get bored with it and they want to revisit. So now that we have these new graphics and these new engines, maybe we can go back and visit these older things because there's definitely stuff from World War II, like the Pacific stuff that wasn't really touched on that much
Sure.
in the video game scene. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up for a minute. What do you got, man?
Well, I mean, you pretty much hit it on all those topics. Uh, if we go back, you talking remaster era, like playing Call of Duty 2 again, but with the graphics we have now. Is that what you meant, or?
Well, not necessarily like remastering. I'm talking about like you can go back and tell other stories from that era, but
Okay.
we have like new graphics and new engines. Because the one thing that I don't appreciate is remastering games that shouldn't be remastered or releasing games that shouldn't be re-released. There's only a few games I think that works for, and it's one of those things where these were cult classics that had a huge following, but they don't need to really be So like Homeworld's a perfect example. Gearbox did a fantastic job revitalizing that game, bringing it into the current, making it look good, as well as paying tribute to like the mod community and so on and so forth. Some other good ones I like seeing re-releases of are the Final Fantasies. Um, they don't always have the best audio quality. I know Echo Bane in chat here could probably tell you about audio problems with PC versions of Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and stuff like that.
People have been wanting a full remake of 7 for a while.
But I could understand 7 being remade, but at the same time, like Um, how well would that catch on though? Does it hold true to like today's fans? Like, are there like a younger generation that's gonna want that? Um, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's probably the thought process that Square goes through. Reason why it's not out yet. They probably go through those motions in their head. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of why it hasn't happened yet.
yeah. Well, okay. So more back on E3 stuff. Are there any other games or any other titles, or is there anything else that you're like looking to see?
I'm looking forward to seeing the Star Fox. There's been nothing, you know, nothing on it. I think they did what a little quick clip with Miyamoto just talking about it. I don't even think they showed like outright gameplay. So I'm hoping that they go all the way in with it. I want, multiplayer online, voice chat. Splatoon does not have voice chat. I don't know how I feel about that, but come on guys. Voice chat, Star Fox, dog fights. Let's do that.
No, I am right with you on that one, man. Um, the thing is Nintendo still just has not put themselves in a position to be a big multiplayer. Oh, I am dropping frames here, brother. Hold on a sec. Looks like I'm dropping frames on the stream, so I want to apologize, people. Okay, I think we're good. Um, yeah, I think crap, what's going on here? All my shit is broke. Okay. We're back. We're good. Everything should be good. Yeah. What was I saying? Damn it, I got distracted by my shit breaking.
We're talking about Nintendo, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Damn it. Yeah, Nintendo with Star Fox would be cool. I'd like to possibly see maybe something with Zelda. Uh I mean, because they've been working on that a little bit, I think, and people are really well aware of it. I'd like to see something more with Zelda. Um, there's one game I'd really like to see showcased, or at least something shown, is the new Deus Ex game. They've announced that, and I'd like to possibly see something from that. Maybe a trailer, something.
I think you
Doesn't
will.
I don't know about any like gameplay stuff, but a trailer would be nice. And I think this year is going to be the year that we finally get some like real meat on Halo 5. I think we'll probably get some really solid Halo 5 stuff this year.
Oh, you're gonna have to because it comes out in September, so you're definitely gonna get a nice, hefty dose of content
You
for
know,
sure.
I'm a little disappointed, still with Microsoft in the way that they're handling some stuff with the Halo franchise. But because I mean, for me, man, like the best was the original trilogy. The first three, like that was some solid stuff. Like if they had left it at that, you know, it would have been pretty solid. I know franchising. It's like, oh, we gotta come out with an Assassin's Greed. We're gonna start call it Assassin's Greed. We're gonna come out with one, maybe two a year, and see what happens.
Yeah, that game, I don't understand why. Obviously it's long ran its course. They're clearly reaching for story, and they're just trying to squeeze it till the last drop. Why don't they bring back Prince of Persia, y'all? This is what they should do when in their action adventure rotation. Okay, 1 year Creed, 1 year Watch Dogs, 1 year Prince of Persia. Each one of those games is gonna get a nice development cycle, and each one of those games are gonna be polished.
Thank you. Thank you. No, like that's real talk right there. And speaking of that, let's talk about, that brings that's a really good tie-in, to games coming out. Like Dice, for example, has been working with Battlefield 4 for so long since launch. They had so many problems with its net code, and all kinds of stuff. And then they go and work on Battlefield Hardline, which don't even get me started on Battlefield Hardline. Like the
Hold on, let me tell you something. I know, I know you ain't about that game, but let me tell you, they learned server-wise from Battlefield 4. That game is so smooth online. It's not funny, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say, if you will allow, sir, is that Battlefield Hardline, they did improve on stuff, and it is smooth gameplay. And conceptually, like the type of gameplay that they are doing, this cops versus robbers thing. Again, they're trying to do the cops versus robbers thing, or the humans versus zombies, or the robbers versus cops. It's cool. I felt like it was a little just a little much. Like, I don't know. Like, I play it, and I just don't get anything out of it like I did from Battlefield 3. I feel like Battlefield 3, of the three games, was probably the most solid game. I don't know. Maybe that's just my nature, but I really liked it a lot better. But the point I'm trying to get at is you got DICE, and now they've been working on, not only have they been working on all this other stuff, but they've been working on Battlefront. Yes, Star Wars, the Battlefront 3. And this is something that I don't think we've really talked much about at Play Legit.
We haven't,
Um,
because I was waiting on you, because you a Star Wars dude.
oh yeah. Yeah. So right here, right now, here are my thoughts with Battlefront. This is what's going to happen with Battlefront. So, number 1, Battlefront, the original Battlefront was such a great game. Was such a great game. They just did things well, and I really liked it. Battlefront 2 had some really great stuff. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but it was still pretty solid. And there was still a lot of, and they had more. There's more type of game modes you could do, and it wasn't just the original trilogy; it was the new trilogy battles and stuff like that. So that was fun, right? Great mod support for the PC. It was good times. Um, but Battlefront 3 is going to be amazing to look at. I mean, it's going to be super pretty, and it's going to be like this really awesome looking game. My concerns though with it are what have plagued like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline. Um Not so much with the netcode stuff, but just the way the game plays in general. Cuz I just don't want this. The thing with like Hardline is it's just constantly you spawn and it's just chaos like everywhere. Like you're just running around and it's just nothing but just yeah. And like that's fun like for so long. And then I'm like, all right, I need to go do something else. This is kind of getting irritating.
Right.
And I just don't want that in like a Star Wars game. And the other thing is they aren't implementing certain features that I think the fans are really wanting. Like fans want a new space game. They want a new Star Wars space game. They want to fly around in an X-wing and go blow up the Death Star, and they want to go fly in a TIE fighter and kill them rebel scum. And I mean, granted, you might be able to do that over the surface and such, but there's just so many like things that are lacking. And of course, they've already announced DLC, and the first DLC apparently is going to be free, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. Announcing DLC before the game's out to me is just kind of like,
Makes me sick to my stomach every time, man.
well, I mean, the game's coming out in November, but the DLC comes out like December 8th, and I'm like, well, why don't you just like launch the game in December? Like with that DLC included that's going to be for free. Like that what I what, KJ, like my my brain, man. Like I don't under my brain hurts. Like I think
this
about that.
this might really hurt you then. I mean, this is Call of Duty, but right now you can buy the season pass for Call of Duty, which is 49.99, and the game. Like you can buy the season pass, and Black Ops 3 is nowhere near releasing yet, and the content for Advanced Warfare isn't even completely out. There's still, I think, 2 map packs coming.
My head. Anybody got some Advil or something, man? Like, I mean, DLC. I think is just such a plague on the corrupt gaming like development. Now that's not to say that you shouldn't be able to pay for like new content, but the problem with that is everybody just buys into it, which means that if you want to play with your friends, you got to buy into it too because they're buying into it. And with Battlefield, for example, like there's like you can do your map selections and stuff like that, but it's just like, oh, I don't have that. I don't have that DLC pack. I don't have that DLC pack. Oh, so we're limited to like the first 10 maps that the game came with.
Oh well, Jimmy, you gotta go buy it then. Go buy it real quick, Jimmy. We'll wait for you.
Yeah. Oh, you don't even know. Like I've been. Oh my god. So DLC, I just think is. I don't know, man. Okay. So here's a game for you. Let's go back to 1996. A game came out on the Nintendo 64 called GoldenEye, right? GoldenEye was such a groundbreaking game for consoles because it was the first console shooter game that just worked. And it was awesome. But there was a catch to this game. If you wanted any of the cheats that were built into the game when you bought it, if you wanted any of the cheats or if you wanted to play on any of the extra maps, you had to unlock them by playing the game and getting good at the game that you were playing.
What?
Can you believe that? You don't have to spend money to get that shit.
Crazy, man.
Isn't that wild? So, I mean, I long for those days. Now, I guess they try and say that happens with like your gun unlocks. You play long enough and you can unlock this gun piece thing, or you play long enough and you can like get all of the you fly the jet or drive the tank long enough and you can get the upgrades for the tank, or you can spend $5 and get all that shit, and then like pass everybody, and then you're OP on the battlefield. It's just kind of like what.
That alone took a point off of my review for Mortal Kombat 10 because they have it where you spend $20 and you can unlock everything. Spend $20 like so instead of working unlock concept art, costumes, brutalities, fatalities. It's like no, spend $20 and you can get it all.
Pay to be cool, like
Yeah.
So there's pay to win and there's pay to be cool, and it's just kind of like this the free to play market is plagued with this, and I have a buddy of mine who's just livid now. Like he's completely done with the free to play war games and stuff like that. He's just had his fill because at the end of the day, well, yeah, it's free. At the end of the day, you don't have to pay for this game, but you pay for the content to for some of the tanks maybe or some of the airplanes depending on the war game that you're playing, and yet like the only way that you can play this game is if their servers stay up. So if that company goes under, if that game goes away, all that money that you've invested is nothing anymore. Like that money is, and that's what concerns me with DLC. You think about that? You think about like the DLC, like down the road 10 15 years from now, people trying to collect games, they're like, oh, here's this game for the Xbox 360. Oh, it has some really cool stuff, but you can't get it anymore because there's no server. Like then someone's gonna have to hack it obviously, but you know like when I buy StarCraft, right? I buy StarCraft, and then they come out with an expansion called Brood War. I have that now. Like, I don't have to like go and download the DLC Brood War or like find a server somewhere that's got these files from back in the day that I can go and grab. Like, once you've paid for that content, you've got it, and it's an interesting prospect, but I don't know. Battlefront 3 or Battlefront, I guess is they're just calling it Battlefront. I will be watching it, but I will not be buying it outright. I'm gonna wait a little while because I don't want to buy into all that and then get my hopes and dreams. Well, what's left of my hopes and dreams ruined.
Well, you know, I just predict with that, um, it's like what they've been doing with Battlefield 39.99 massive season pass. Over several months they'll stream out maps, maybe new game modes, maybe even a space flight stage later on. But the point being is the real game's gonna be $60, and it's a shell of what it was in the past. Already, it's not even out yet, and it's already a shell. You're paying for the graphics, you're not paying for the gameplay, and that seems to be a common trend in this industry right now.
But and that's what scares me, KJ's, because people are gonna buy it all up. Especially the Star Wars fans, they're gonna buy it all up, and it's just gonna keep going because Assassin's greed. Like people want that money, and it's unfortunate because I'd rather get a fully complete game like Grand Theft Auto 5. Like I have that game. I'm playing through the story right now. I spent like the first day and a half playing the multiplayer with some of my buddies and just goofing off. But I have put so much time into playing that campaign because the story is one really well written. It's a really well written game.
Yeah, it's
You
awesome, man.
know,
I love it.
Trevor is by far my favorite character, even though he's freaking crazy and grosses me out. That man is hilarious.
His
Um,
introduction is insane. Like you played Lost in the Dam, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to spoil enough for nobody, but it's just what they did with that whole story arc was just blew my mind. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and the whole thing with him and biker gangs in GTA 5 anyway, and just like, yeah, it's just, so yeah, and Rockstar's just always been good with writing and their cleverness, and the way that they do it, and their satire, of course, against real like our culture today and our, society. Their satire against our society is fantastic.
The Life Invader making fun of Facebook.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yes, yes. There's so much. I mean, if you just take the time to read like signs that are next to the highway or billboards and stuff like that, it's just outrageous. Like just how much, like just society satire there is everywhere. So, but yeah,
The
man.
thing is, their content, their extra content, like the heist and all that stuff, yeah, people was waiting on it, but it came in bulk, and they really hooked it up. And guess what? It was free. And you know why it was free? Because they made their money. Because they put out a solid game. They're not taxing nickel and diamond, folks. They just put the work in, made a game that everybody can like, and that's it. And they don't need a, you know, quick pass, get free outfits here, or not free outfits, but paid outfits here. Y'all know what I'm saying. They did not do any of that stuff, and
Yeah.
they still made more money than the rest of them.
Right, because multiplayer with 4 was free and it came with the game. Like so, like why charge for multiplayer, in this? Like why does multiplayer have to be something that you charge for, that's just silly. That's stupid. So, but yeah, man. So it's Rockstar's doing good. I'm really excited for this E3. I think there's going to be a lot of really good announcements. There's definitely going to be some really good trailers. Um, I'd like to see something more maybe from the Kingdom Hearts thing. There might, maybe see if there's anything more from that. So,
Yeah, Mo Chalk was excited about that. He actually has a replica Keyblade that he will fight with and stuff. So yeah, he's a Kingdom Hearts dude for sure.
well, anything else, man? What else you got? You got anything else on your plate?
The only other thing is, I have no idea what Sony is going to do this year because their heavy hitter, Uncharted. Well, we might see something from it, but the point is, it's not coming out. And that was, I mean, for me, if I was going to buy a PlayStation, that would be the game this year to definitely get. And that's not coming. I'm interested to see what they're going to do. What's going to happen? You know?
I'd love to see, and I'm dead serious about this. People might think I'm silly or whatever. I would like to see some kind of unique, something different resurgence of Crash Bandicoot. I'm not kidding. I think bringing that guy out somehow, because the 3D platformer is coming back. Indie
Should never
develop
went anywhere.
Well, no, it shouldn't have. But indie developers are working on it. Like there's a game right now from the same guys who did Banjo Kazooie. They're working on it's an indie game now. There's like a Kickstarter up for it, and it's a 3D platformer, very similar to the Banjo Kazooie style of game. And I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, ukulele is going to be a great time. I actually did a little write up on the site. They're getting it's ex members from Rare are doing it,
Yep.
and also the composer from Donkey Kong Country, David Wise. He's going to be doing the soundtrack. If you go to Kickstarter, they actually have like the preview tunes, and I mean it just absolutely feels just like a throwback. But of course, it has the new school shine on it. So man, I mean, I see why I got approved so fast.
Yeah, it got kickstarted real quickly. There's another one that it's very reminiscent of like Legend of Zelda. That's very similar to like Wind Waker that's out there. Um, and there's like another one that's very similar to like Mario that's being worked on. Just these 3D platformers that are just fun. Fun. They're just fun. So I think that'd be kind of nice to see a resurgence of that kind of stuff. So
This is kind of going to other places, but man, I've been so happy with the stuff I've been seeing on Kickstarter. I really think that that platform is single-handedly saving gaming, or at least evolving it to back to an old school place where you could just enjoy these games and not worry about the corporates nickel and diming you, man.
yeah. Well, there's only so many big companies that I actually appreciate anymore, and most of them are like subpar big companies. You know what I'm saying? Like Blizzard's big, but it's not like a AAA like every year releasing a new game, right? But they've got BlizzCon, so like they have their own convention every year, which is huge. But the indie guys, man, they're of course, we're getting a flooded market with a lot of people who think that them and their mom can make a game, but there definitely is some really quality indie stuff that is being made, and it's definitely helping keep things going, because it can definitely be hard to siphon the good from the shit pile that's out there, you know
Yeah.
and it's hard. So, but no, man, I'm really excited. On another note, another tangent, shifting away a little bit from the gaming stuff. How was Mad Max Fury Road?
Man, I did not get to see it. My plans fell through.
What?
Yeah, man.
What?
Haven't got to see it yet, man.
Oh, you're breaking my heart, KJ. All right, I
But
take you that I take it that you've seen Age of Ultron, though, right?
I did see that, yes.
And
And I really like that movie, man.
I tell you one thing. This isn't gonna spoil anything for anybody who's watching, but let me tell you something about Age of Ultron. I've been reading, and there's been all this hype on the internet about this whole feminist thing, and Black Widow was a damsel in distress, and blah blah blah. Let me tell you something right here, right now. Black Widow was one of the strongest characters in this movie, and she didn't need no help from nobody.
Right.
That character, I mean, that was probably the best like female superhero role in that movie that I've seen in any other movie ever. I mean, bam, like Black Widow is one of my favorite superheroes now after watching that performance. Like no doubt.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson did her thing. Um, I'm a big Storm fan. I think Storm is just awesome. But yeah, Black Widow's cool too.
No, no, I feel you on Storm. I get you. I'm just talking about like one of the things that I really appreciated was the fact that the team realized that they couldn't get their job done without her, right? You know, even though Tony Stark said it in a funny way, they were trying to defend the thing at the end, and he's like, hey, where are you? Like, we need you over here.
Yeah.
So it's
But I
just
mean,
like,
that's just Tony Stark's an asshole, you know?
well, yeah, he is an asshole, but I'm just saying, like, he said it in a funny way, but the sincerity was is they couldn't do it without her, So I think people who have problems with that just need to chill out because like that was such a great performance by her.
Yeah, I
So
agree. Real talk.
real talk. Well, man, you got anything else?
Shoot. Uh, any games that you know are coming out that you looking forward to, man?
The only the only games that I know that are coming out that I'm actually really looking forward to, the ones that are coming out like in the immediate future, would be like Splatoon and as far as the PC goes, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head other than the Legacy of the Void, and then next year, hopefully, if it does actually come out next year, the Division. I don't know if I'll jump on the gun as soon as it comes out,
I will.
but from everything that I'm seeing so far, I probably will. So
I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking forward to is about to be out. Is The Witcher. Man, the scores of this game is getting. I'm seeing 10, 10, 10, 9.9.7, 10, 10. and 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 I've heard on countless occasions that you will clock in side missions included and main 100 hours. Like that's ridiculous. 100 hours, and then on top of that, they still have the DLC coming. See, that's when I can support additional content like that. Is because when a game is already that jam packed, that much stuff to do. Okay, and you got DLC. Okay, all right. That's when
well,
I'm a little bit more lenient.
and don't forget, KJ, you can have sex on a unicorn.
I didn't know about
Oh,
that
dude,
shit.
go look that up on your own time. Go look that up. It's crazy. Anyway,
Is that why them boys giving them scores like that? Like,
what's up, Blood for Geek? Welcome to the chat. So yeah, so The Witcher 3 definitely is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. They got a lot going on with that one. Now that same company, they're kind of like a one game at a time company. They announced a few years ago a game that I think that they're probably going to switch gears to in a little while. It's the Cyberpunk game. There was a trailer for it that came out. Oh, how long ago was that? Did that come out?
shoot, is it 3 years now? Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah. They have a Facebook page, Cyberpunk game, everything. 2077. They came out with this trailer, and then like no one heard anything about it. But it's the same guys who have been working on The Witcher, right? So, um, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that because there's been no announcement that they're canceling it. So yeah, I'd like to see the that those guys actually do something.
I actually forgot about that game. Yeah, that should be cool, man.
A lot of people forgot about that game. 3 years ago, yeah, the Facebook page says 3 years ago that it came out. So it'll be interesting. But I think that's what I all I got, man. I don't know of anything else that I can think of as far as games go. E3. You guys are still waiting to hear whether or not you guys are going to E3, right?
Yeah, I called him today and I was like, "What's up? Did I submit everything right?" And she said, "You're gonna hear back in a day or two." So, you know, I'm just waiting for that call, brother.
Right on, man. So yeah.
But I also live in Ohio, so they need to hit me back now so I can make arrangements and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the entertainment industry. They just assume that you're if you're gonna go, then you can afford it.
Well,
I agree. So, all right, man. Well, I think we should wrap it up. That's pretty much been it. Go check things out, guys. PlayLegit.net is your only source for gaming and real talk. We got news, we got articles, we got thought pieces, we got questions, we got answers. We got it all. Come check it out. Right there.
Count down the top 10 post-apocalyptic games of all time. That is live and it's on the site right now. Check that out.
PlayLegit.net. You can also follow Twitter at PlayLegit. I am T42. You can follow me at Hunter Hacks. That's Hunter H4X on Twitter. And yeah, guys. So keeping it real all the time. Stay tuned. We got some big things coming up at the end of summer. So yeah. Go watch that. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'm closing this out. It's been fun. It's been real.